Hi guys, hi and welcome to Gear Reviews and to this late night review of Superman Red Sun. So as I promised you guys, I wanted to squeeze that in and it's midnight, you know, in 4 minutes. So I really want to talk to you guys about this movie without spoilers, and I hope that I'm going to do a spoiler review with my dear colleague from Superheroes Bulgaria, Kirill, or how I like to call him, Wogan K. So guys, Superman Red Sun is this alternative Superman story where instead of landing in Smallville in America, he landed in Mother Russia in the Soviet Union. That was long time ago, and basically everything is different and everything changed because of that fact. It's very interesting story, guys, and I did go, I didn't went my apologies, out of my way to actually read also the comic book, so I know what are the differences between the two and basically what to expect. I mean, what is good, what is bad in the original story, what is good and what is bad in this interpretation. Hi Clayton and hi Ivy. Yeah, we I don't have a lot of pump tonight, but that's gonna be fixed in a few next days when I, get some sleep actually. In the dead of night, red and yellow shine bright. The greatest of the clans stands strong, Garian fate for her foes tow. Wow! How do you word that? I mean, it's amazing. Darkness grows long before the light of dawn. So gather friends, forget your forlorn? Forlorn. I'm not sure I know that word actually. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed right now, but I'm also very sleepy. So I want to get to this review, guys. And Ivy, you're amazing. You know that. So it was compared to the previous DC movies that I've watched and me and Kitty watched, this is definitely the best. It's really interesting throughout. It's interesting how they explore Superman. I mean, how he's evolved as a person when he landed, instead of America and Russia, how that changed his perspectives, how he was still naive and good, how he was manipulated, then how he, out of all of that, created his own view for the world. Yeah, and it's really amazing. By the way, do you hear me well? Because I had to remove this huge pop filter, otherwise it just covers me, you know. And I'm far away from the mic, so I don't think that I do need this at the moment. So I just decided to go without it. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, and this is one of the most actually famous Superman stories, as it turns out. So it's not like nobody knows about this. Well, you might have not heard of it, Ivy, but it's really, interesting. And the first time that I read the title, I was like, Superman Red Sun, and I thought that it's about the sun. But then again, I read it again, and it turns out it's sun. It's not sun, it's sun. So the point is that he is the son of Russia. He is the son of basically communism, and and back in America, Lex Luthor is also all different. Lois Lane is actually married to Lex Luthor. She is Lois Lane Luthor, or yeah, she did wanted to keep her other name. And Wonder Woman is ambassador for peace or something like that. That Superman is working with her, but she has her own ideas about World of Man and how everything works and how it should work and all of that. I don't want to get into spoilers. I did write no spoilers here, but there's a very interesting key differences between this and the comic books. So definitely, put it on YouTube. I mean, there's like a motion comic book on YouTube. You can basically watch it as the movie. It's 1 hour long, it's pretty long. This movie actually one of the longest Disney animations. I think it's 1 hour and 30 something minutes, which it's long. I mean, it felt long, but it felt like it should be because the story is pretty like massive. So there are some things that are missed from the comic book. There are some things that are done a bit worse, like not explained that well, and some that in the comic books are not explained that well. They just skip on things, they just show you the next thing, and I was like confused. I mean, if I were not to see the animation, I would be a bit confused about the comic book because the comic book did jump around with some story elements, and I was like, okay, how this happened, how that happened. In the same time, in the animation, decided to skip some stuff, but it was done in a way that if you only see the animation, you'll be totally fine. But it's still good for reference and for context to freaking watch the comic book. I'm just gonna check an email real quick. Sorry, guys, but the watch has been buzzing me for so long. I'm just like, I hope it's not something urgent, but yeah, it's not. So Wonder Woman in the comic book, she's very different. She's a bit more like, hey, I mean, she's serious, but she's not. She's a bit on the nose, you can say. She's not like very mean in the first place. In the animation, they did took some ideas that we have. Well, apologies, guys. It's midnight. Um, some ideas that we have now as a progressive ideas, or like men are bad and women are good and all of that crap that I hate so much. I mean, they speak about equality, but all you can hear is like Wonder Woman is saying how men are bad and all men are the same, and all of this. So there was similar thing in the comic books. I mean, in the comic, but putting that in the comic book for the times that it was made, it makes sense for the times because, yes, things were not equal between men and women, especially in Russia, and things are not even like equal now, and they still like backwards on some issues. So yeah, I mean, it's totally like adequate and valid to put that there and her attitude to be different because of the times that she is in. But where in the comic book that is a bit more appropriate to do in the animation, it just, I mean, yeah, it's in those years, but some of the things that they say are like so much like echoing from what we hear now that it's obvious that they took whatever we hear now into that time, which it's obvious, It's one thing to say that, men do bad things, they go to war and all of that. And it's another thing to use words and whole sentences that are pretty much absolutely the same as what we hear today as, you know, um, arguments or just calling somebody particular names or acting in a particular way. Yeah, so I didn't like that. It's what holds this animation a bit back because it's not just one instance, it's not two, at least three. And yeah, what happened to Wonder Woman in the whole animation? There was one moment that I cannot speak about that, but there's one moment where it's literally a scene at the end. She just appeared, that's all I'm gonna say. But it's in a way that it just begging for a parody. It's just, if I would to, I mean, if I could have done like an animation, I would have done animation with this as a parody because it was just almost a parody on itself. Like they almost don't have to change anything and it's still a huge parody what happened. So I can't wait to talk about this with Kirill. And you have a few days, and we're gonna try to get together. So you have a few days to watch it, and then see our spoiler review if we can really get together. So that's gonna be fun. it's not too far. It's not too far because it's not that often, but it's gonna be so far if uh, it did had one more instance of this, because you know. And so on, guys. But Superman here is a guy that tries to do what he thinks is the best way. So he's not like full on evil or full on bad. But whatever he does, it's really, different from what he actually did do in the comics. And if you see the trailer, Batman is here as well. Again, totally different version of Batman. One Batman that is actually, a darker one, very darker one. His story actually worse, from his, like, it's really worse. He is down on his luck guy, you can say, in a lot of ways, and that's actually understatement. Yeah. So guys, I would say this animation, in terms of length, it's very good length, because again, some of these animations are too short in my opinion. This was a bit, longer, and it did explore the story to the best of its ability. Now there is additional part of the comic book at the end of the comic book where it's much longer, and he actually shows you what's gonna happen after particular events, and it's actually very shocking. I was shocked. I was like mind blown, like and this never happens here. They never show that. It just cuts, and this doesn't show anything after that. I didn't see like an end credit scene, so yeah. And that's why I urge you to just watch the motion comic on YouTube if you can't read it yourself, because it's really worth it. It's just amazing to sit back and watch it, and it's very enjoyable because everything moves. It's almost like an animation at times, and it's really engaging. So storytelling really good, pacing really good, how they were all drawn really good, although it's still that style where it's not bad, but in 2020, I wish we had this, what we have on the poster, because this is amazing art. It's almost like 3D. If we can only see these moves, it's gonna be amazing. But they don't want to do it, budget, I guess. But still, it did look better than some of the other animations, and Loix look good, Lex look good, Superman look good. A bit of like, with the nose was like this rather than straight, which was like weird. I was like, well, okay, so if he lands in Russia, he's gonna have different shape of the nose or what? I mean, he's still the same Kryptonian, I don't know why they decided to do that there. Here on that poster, he doesn't look like that, so that was a bit weird. But other than that, the music, how this started, and the overall feel of it, they really captured the Soviet feeling to the best of their ability, I guess, when it's animation, and on the other side of the American spirit, which of course they can do that. It's an American animation. It's not that hard, I guess, even in older times, when it takes place in older times. But that's it, guys. A really good animation overall, although the difference is that pretty sure that Logan K will not be that happy about. And I'm not that fond of them either, so we have a lot of discussion. I mean, we have stuff to discuss for sure. Everything that I really want to say is just don't poison or don't try to put new progressive ideas into the old ones. If you're gonna adapt the comic book as it was made, because that was the freaking idea in the first place about this whole story. That's what I want to say. Yeah, black coffee with extra mud in it, yeah. I think you like it overall. I think everybody will pretty much like it overall again. Not bad. It's a lot better than just average. It's very good. Just some key differences, and that on the nose, but it's not that bad. So yeah. So that's it, guys. I hope you have a great Friday, and thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and of course, watch out for what I do on TikTok, Rizzo, and of course Facebook. and Instagram and Twitter, because I am announcing everything that I do before I do it. Until next time, me Gary G reviews. Sleep well, guys.